Yes, this is the first quilt. This was in 1999. The artist Diallo did the festival poster, and he made the agungu for the festival poster. And I thought that we would just keep with that same theme for the first festival quilt. And so I constructed the agungu. I just had a lot of fun with the different fabrics. I like bold, bright prints. And then we just had the festival goers to write their memories and do their blocks. And I know when we were piecing it, we were reading and crying, actually. We were just so impressed and elated about the kind of participation that we had. And I remember as we were putting the blocks together, tears falling. We were so, because we wanted to make it work. We wanted to prove that this was a needed art form to be celebrated. And we were happy that Patrick gave us the opportunity. And we wanted to demonstrate that we were worthy of that opportunity. So, yeah, it was a labor of love. And I'm looking at it now, and I'm just in awe. I did not come from a long line of quilt makers, but I had people in a distant family that did. But now I'm reading and looking and saying, oh my goodness. I said, this is wonderful. This needs to be preserved. This is part of our culture, you know. And I started looking at different things over in Africa, like the bifel that the Senegalese were doing, and the applique and the flags, the homie. And the other part of the story, Patrick, is that I can't tell you how heartfelt that festival was. I just felt such a personal connection with it. I always was a volunteer at the festival, and now I'm thinking, this is a way I can contribute to the festival. I'm going to request a quilt pavilion so we can celebrate the art of quilt making. And not a formal proposal, but just an idea. I went to you and I said, Patrick,
I don't remember that.
you probably don't, but I went to you and I said, Patrick, we need to have a quilt pavilion out here. You would, well, okay, well, how you think you're gonna do it? Da 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 da. There were some questions, and you never said no. You were entertaining the idea. However, I think that D was the push.
In the summer of 2022, Africa International House presented a quilting symposium funded by the Terra Foundation for American Art, entitled Art and Agency, Exploring the African American Quilting Tradition. It included companion quilt art exhibitions presented in association with the DeSable Museum for Black History and Education, Navy Pier, and the Africa International House Center for Contemporary African Art and Culture. The exhibitions featured quilt art by members of the Needles and Threads Quilters Guild of Chicago, the Khoiga Quilters of Liberia, West Africa, and prominent guest quilt artist Dorothy Strutter, who's also a quilt historian, and Jim Smoot. Africa International House is grateful for the continued support of the Needles and Threads Quilters Guild in managing the annual African Festival of the Arts Quilting Pavilion.